Welcome to this week's session on the business plan. I like this one. It's kind of fun. I'd say it only compares to marketing for me and the amount of fun it is for your business. But today we're going to talk about like who your business is, what do you do and things like that. So that's why I think this is fun. So this is the products and processes session. Of course, all of you, hopefully we build a business to soar above and beyond. And the way to do that is going to be through having a really solid business plan. So like we were talking before, Damien, you can't know if you've gotten lost unless you know where you're going. And that's what happens with a lot of businesses. You get lost. So when I tried, my first trying to get my business out there type stuff, I did Southern Women's Show, Southern Christmas Show, Disney's Expos, the Charlotte Marathon. It was sort of like throwing darts and, whatever sticks. But really what can happen is you get lost because I didn't have that focused vision yet. So that's what we're working on today is kind of getting that focused vision so that you don't get lost. So we talked last time about problem solution approach to businesses. So today we're going to make sure you can really define your problem, identify the solution, and then develop the action plan, because you can have those first things, but unless you know what you're doing, it's kind of like, we just did it for fun. All right, so we've already started talking about what the problem is that your business is going to solve. Who wants to tell me what problem they're going to be solving in their business? If you've worked on it already. I know some of you haven't even worked on it, and that's okay. Maybe I get it? Damien.
The problem I'm solving is like a lack of suites for people who like service business.
Okay, suites as in like business stalls, not suites as in desserts. Okay, so a lack of suites for people who are doing their business services. Okay, so that is the problem. Who does it impact? Who's the number one person that this would impact, the lack of suites?
Business.
Okay, so you're looking to target small businesses. So you're looking at a business to business. You're not looking to go towards the consumer, right? Okay. So now we can say, okay, who does this impact? It impacts other small business owners. Why is it an issue? What happens if they don't have this available to them?
They won't get taken seriously as business people, like not having an actual physical business location. You can't go get loans for equipment and things like that.
As opposed to a home-based business.
Exactly.
Okay. So for example, at one point I was going to work with a university down in Florida to get interns. If you were a home-based business, you weren't allowed to get interns. Number one, it's probably not safe for the interns to be having to go to your house. So you had to have a business location. So if you don't have a business location of any sort, what address do you use? Your house, and then you're wiped out of loans, like you said, potential employees and things like that. So now we know why it's an issue. So what is the solution?
Hotel model. So instead of renovating the hotel rooms and turning those into suites.
Okay, so taking an abandoned hotel or something that is not utilized properly, turning that into business suites. So now there is a solution to not having enough suites. Right? This part, how do you make that happen? That's what we're talking about today, is the process. So today we're talking, let me show you here, about a lot of the P's of business. So normally you're looking at the product, the people, the place, the price, and the promotion. We won't hit price and promotion until the marketing section, which is a very important section because the only time you make money is here with the price. That's where money's coming in. So, but for today, we're going to ignore that and set the base with what is the product, who are the people, and what is the place. Okay? So this is what we're covering today. All right, so Damien just answered those very basic questions. What is the problem? Who does it impact? Why is it a problem? And what is the solution? If you can do those four things with your business, you're ready to start building your business plan, and welcome. So take a moment. I want everybody to take a moment. And if you have a device that you want to work on this on, go ahead and do that. If you just want to think about it, if you're trying to solve a problem, can you answer, what is the problem? Who is it impacting? Why is it an issue? See if you can get those initial questions going. And here, I'll actually go back to see, could you answer those first 4 questions? Okay, so we'll just take about 2 minutes to do that. So it sounds like a lot of you have made progress on what is the problem. Sometimes you think you know what the problem is, but it's not the problem. So Portia was saying the problem is a lack of jobs. No, it wasn't. It was a lack of education. No, that's actually not it either. It's a lack of affordable education. Okay, now we're getting closer. What we're really saying is the root cause is that there is not accessible education to everyone. So we've gone from a lack of jobs, which is not the problem, to a lack of accessible education. And she has a solution for it. So that's what her company is going to solve. That's why I say if you can't identify what the true problem is that you're trying to solve with your company, you might be shooting at the wrong thing. So Portia started by saying there's a lack of jobs. So she could throw all kinds of money into creating jobs. And what's going to happen when she does that if there's no accessible education? Nobody can fill those jobs. So it was never the jobs issue. That's why you really want to start narrowing it down. All right, so we're going to talk about the process, and we're going to show how you'll add this to your business plan, the validation of the problem, validation of solution, and a SWOT analysis. So we kind of talked about the validation issues last time. So you can say that there is a lack of accessible education, but how do you know that?
I mean, because there are a lot, like, I see it on the news a lot of
Okay.
the time.
So news would be like anecdotal information. So you see it on the news. That's one way of gathering the information.
I have like friends of friends of friends of friends who tell me they're like, oh, my friend's friend can't go to college because of
Okay. So you've heard of personal anecdotes. I wonder if there's anything non-anecdotal she could look at. What other things could help show there's a problem? Statistics. Economic reports. Third-party validated information. Now, if you have now supported your problem with that kind of stuff, people are going to really start paying attention. Yeah. You have the education. Yeah.
But also when you have a job, you get paid.
Yes, exactly. You have to have so really what you're talking about is now you're starting to validate her solution, because her solution is going to be somehow providing access to that education, which then once they have the education, they can go for the jobs. Once they have the jobs, they can get paid, they can have economic impact. So you're actually validating her solution. So you can validate the problem through anecdotal information, but also statistics. The labor department will put out statistics and stuff like that. So that's what we're talking about, validating the problem to prove there's really a problem. And that's not just Portia seeing the problem, and validating the solution to the problem. When we're talking about a SWOT analysis, how many of you have heard about a SWOT analysis in any class you've been in prior? Ooh, one, okay. All right, so it can kind of sound then scary to say about a SWOT analysis if you've never ever seen one, right? A SWOT analysis is literally just talking about your company and the environment that it's in. So when we're talking about your company, you as a company, you're going to have strengths and weaknesses. That's the S&W. Okay. So if you are, so Portia, I want to continue to use your example. What could be a strength of the solution or the company she's building to address this, which is a big need, by the way, the accessible education? What do you think could be a strength? I'll give you my example. How about one strength could be, as a small company, she can adapt easily. If you get to a big company like Walmart, they can't just change and adapt really easily. But a small business owner can adapt. So if she goes in there and finds, oh, maybe I thought there was a problem of this, but it's really this. She's a small company and her strength could be she can adapt. Okay? But on the flip side, The size of her company can also be a weakness. Why would the size of her company be a weakness in addressing economic development, really, for a region?
Maybe like
Credibility, exactly. She has, not her personally. Her company at this point has no credibility. Doesn't have a track record. What else for a small company could be a weakness? What you think? Lack of funds. Can I tell you, from a business owner, the biggest weakness most of the time we face is a lack of capital. And I know, Annette, you've been in business for a while with a restaurant. Money does not grow on trees, and there is literally nobody standing by to hand out money to you. And you'll hear all the time that the government has money for small businesses. How many times have they given you direct money for your business?
0.
Zero. Okay. I've actually gotten it once through a Maryland program here. But usually all the money that's available for businesses goes into creating centers to help you with your business. It doesn't actually give you money. So you've got to figure out where that money's coming from. As a small business, that's a problem, because I don't think Portia could support all the people who can't afford to finance their education right now. Okay? She's just a girl. I like it. She's just one girl. All right. And then when we talk about opportunities and threats, it's like outside things that you have to address. So for instance, an opportunity right now, you know what? An opportunity right now is that, and we're not going into politics, but we do have a Democrat as a governor, as a president right now. They tend to support funding for education, tend to, invest money in that sort of thing. But a threat could be, right now, nobody knows where the politics are going. And so that politic and political environment can be both an opportunity and a threat. And here's why it's not a strength or a weakness. What can Portia do to, I know you're going to tell me to vote. I'm not going down here, but what could Portia do to change the political environment? There's not a lot her company could do. It's a company that is not going to change the fact that Biden's president right now. So she has to be able to react to that external thing. She can't change the external thing, but she can change the internal things of her being a small business. She could become a nonprofit, right? So that's when we're talking SWOT. And don't worry, I know this is like the first time you've all heard this, but just remember that it's some things that the individual company can do, and there's some things you can't do, but you have to live within that world. Okay? All right. So, have you ever gone on a website for a brand new company and you didn't really know what they are, so you go to the About Us section? Okay, what kind of things do you find when you go into the About Us section on people's websites? Ooh, I got everybody. All right, what'd you say? Okay, when it was founded, their mission. Oh, your mission, okay. Contact information, which would then help you with that credibility we were talking about, right? Okay. What else might you find there? Yeah. What they do, exactly. I've had to go on to websites just to say, well, what does this company even do? Right? So that could be one of them. Okay. So in order to be able to tell people all this stuff, you have to know this stuff about your company. So that's why we're saying the legal structure. Okay. For those of you who are starting your own company, this is something you want to think about in the beginning, because it's very hard to change. And take it from me, because I am taking my company through a change. Okay. So your legal structure. So like I just said, Portia is a single person. It's hard for her to do stuff, but she could be a sole proprietor right now. That's a single person. And she would then bear all of the responsibility. Okay. She could join somebody. She and Damien could form a team, and now they could be a partnership. Okay. So now we've got two people together starting a business, but a partnership still means they're both responsible. Okay. I'm going to switch because the business that we were forming with you doesn't have some good examples, but I'm going to give you an example from my business. Okay. We do bath and body products. Now, if I am a single person starting this business, I could be a sole proprietor. The good thing is it's very easy. All I have to do is say, I'm in business. Done. Let's say somebody uses my product and it makes their bathtub really slippery. And they slip and fell and hit their head. What can happen now? I'm liable. Okay? So they're going to sue me, right? Now that they've sued me, what can they do? Like, what can they get from me? My money,
Your
What?
business,
my business.
everything.
Guess what? They could also take my house. I know. They could take my car. Okay? Oh, my accounts, all my accounts, my retirement. Because I, as a person, started this business and I, as a person, am responsible. That's a bad way to do it. Trust me. Now, I did not start my business as a sole proprietor. So, like I said, a lot of people do because all you have to do is go, I'm in business, and you're in business. You use your social security number, you report your income on your personal taxes. But something goes wrong, they can take everything I own, put us out on the street. So I think I want a little bit more protection than that as a person, right? So my next step, I could do an LLC. An LLC stands for Limited Liability Company or Limited Liability Company is the easiest way to say it. So now as an LLC, the business is sort of separate from me, right? I have my name, my LLC has a name. In some states, you can't just be a single member LLC because then they're like, no, you're just you.